What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascent. I have Dogwifhat up on the screen. We're going to do an updated alt season video on this guy. We haven't done one since it set a new low here. And guys, I feel so good about this target. Some of you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but I'm about to show you two different mathematical ways that we're hitting this target right now. And it wasn't me trying to fit a narrative. It just worked out that way. So on that run up here, you can see we had an ABC, and that was back in 2024. So not even during an alt season. Yeah, no, not at all. Just kind of ran on its own after release. Got up there. Since then, it's been pretty brutal, to say the least. So let's go ahead. Looking at how this moved, it was an A, a B, and that is lower than that there, and a C. So right there, at least I'm pretty sure. Let's double check that guy real quick. That high, 4857. This high, yep, 479. So A, B, C, beautiful. And you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for whiff. It looks like this is either a 1, 2, or guys, we could be printing the same freaking thing that we printed here. So let me talk about that for a second. What we're looking at now on the macro is this was the macro A, this is a macro B, and this is the macro C that we're waiting on right now. All of these charts, when we're zooming this far out, are doing something different. So on this C leg, what it did on the A leg was an ABC. Okay? We know the minimum measured move on an ABC is the C leg is at least the distance of the A leg. So the A leg in this scenario, 7,100% from this low. Oops. Let's see. Where does 7,100? Wait, what the hell? Oh, it's going the wrong way. I was like, what the hell? That arrow is going down. Here, let me see. Bear with me. All right, 7,100%. Where does that take us? 7,108, 2,170. Okay. I know what you're thinking. This guy's nuts. I get it. Let's plug that in there. From the current price level, that's about 2,300% or a 24x. For those of you that haven't been in an alt season, that's not even that crazy, right? So I just showed you how in an ABC that works, right? One of two things are happening right now in this situation. See how we did an ABC to climb to the top? Well, are we doing something similar here? It's going to be an A, B, C, and then a 5-wave move in here. Or here's what my base is right now, is I think it's a 1, 2. We're waiting on 3, 4, 5 to get us up to that level, right? That's what I believe is playing out for this guy based on the structure. Just going to have to wait and see, because here we did move up in more of an ABC fashion. We moved down in an ABC fashion, and we're printing a big ABC. We're just going to have to wait and see. But either way, that price level is my base case. But wait, there's more. Check this out. If I take a fib extension of this whole range going back to March of 2024, and I pull it to that extreme low, look where that gets us. 1950. So that 2170 not sounding so crazy when we have a fib measurement that takes us out, and that's a full extension there. Okay? On this first range here, went way more than a full extension on that ABC, right? What about that A wave to that B wave right here? Way exceeded that, right? So it's not that crazy to sit here and say 1950 to 2170 is my area of interest. Another way we can kind of look on the way up, if we want some more conservative targets, would be to look. We have some Confluence up here around $4. I don't think that's going to be where this thing stops out. What could happen, though, is that could end up being an area where our third wave gets to, right? We don't know yet. We got to wait and see. My thoughts is it's going to go well past that before settling down and then going off. What I actually think is going to be happening here, you guys see all this, I'm going to get rid of it, is I'm going to take an extension of this first wave here, right up there around $5. That gets us just above this B wave target. That gets us just barely above that all-time high. So we could settle down at that all-time high right there. And that's our third wave. Oops, let me go. I'll leave that up. And that would be our third wave. So what we would be looking at in that scenario is a 1, 2, 3, and then it depends how deep this thing comes. It could come pretty deep, 4, and then 5 up to that level. So one more thing I want to do before you tell me I'm crazy. How big was this first wave? 368%. In the scenario I just laid out, how big is this third wave? 670%. So we'd be looking at a 7.7x from that bottom. From the current price level, about a 5.5x. But let's just take it from here. And then in this situation, how big is that fifth wave? That would be like a 800%. And that's even if it were to drop that far, right? But just speculating, guys, the third wave cannot be the shortest, and it's not. Fifth wave can be the longest, and especially in a blow off, right? And the first wave in this scenario would be the shortest, but there's no reason that something like that could not happen. And these two waves being pretty similar in length there. Now, what I'll say is there's still different scenarios. This is all speculation. This is an alt season video. What I care about is I am going to be pulling out between 1950 and 2150. That is my zone right here. I will have all of it gone, right? Even if we got up there, like I got a fat bag of this. Right now, this is my biggest bag. So I'm looking there, the confluence on the major range, like how we get there is less important to me. I'll be paying more attention to Bitcoin in the broader markets. I showed you one possible way this could go. Another way too is here. Let me draw this back out one more time. We could do something like this, right? I was getting a little, no. I was getting a little cheeky there. Let's do something like this. Let's keep it basic and just look at the major fibs. We could do something like a 1, 2, 3 takes us up here. 4 brings us probably just barely below. And I'm looking at all these tops here that got stopped out at that 786. And then it would bust off like that. In that scenario, 350, wave 3 is going to be the longest, 1100%. And then this fifth wave, pretty much the same exact as the first wave. So that would be more textbook of an impulsive run up. Our first wave and fifth wave similar in length. Third wave being the blow off. Bust through here. A lot of retail gets sucked in. We drop back down, and then there's one more push. This is exactly what I'm looking for WIF right now. So again, not as concerned about where it ends up on the third wave. If this is down here, that's fine. Nothing has changed with my long-term target here, guys. I love that level for the reasons we talked about. And this is, I'm telling you, once this alt season gets going, this thing is going to rip. And that's where that's where it's headed. So that's what I have for WIF. Again, on this next run up here, I mean, I would say anywhere between like that 383 and 750. Pretty big range, I know. But we're just going to have to count the waves as we go, right? And this is my largest holding, so I will be doing plenty of updates on it, throughout alt season and for my members. So if you guys could do me a favor, if you could follow, like, repost. I've been doing TA a long time. Just want to help as many of you guys as I can. I released an ebook a couple weeks ago on building the perfect crypto portfolio. You can check that out. The link is in my Twitter bio or the description of this YouTube video. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later.